How close were you to buying the Cowboys?
My dad tried to buy the Cowboys, and I met Jerry Jones for the first time when the Super Bowl was here, and we kind of reminisced about that story.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and my dad, always felt it was, because he kind of had a reputation of being, a ladies' man, kind of, a maverick kind of a guy.
Then they let Jerry Jones buy the
I know,
team.
but I mean, he's, I don't know Jerry that well, but it was funny because he was very well aware of the story and kind of grateful that he got the team instead of my dad. After
your dad lost out on that team, how much interest did he have in pursuing other NFL teams?
He did. I mean, he was interested in buying the Rams and had been talking to Carol Rosenblum before he passed away. And I think he would have loved to have owned an NFL team, but it just wasn't in the cards for him.
Is that something you ever have any interest in pursuing?
No. No.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess, I in a way, I kind of owned a football team because I played fantasy football for about 10 years.
What do you mean?
I played fantasy football. My team was the LA United. And
I'm not going to buy an NFL team because I played fantasy football.
Honestly, have you ever played fantasy football?
Yeah.
It's like I felt like I really owned a team. And, you get very invested in winning and losing in the NFL because there's only 16 games. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, got to win them all.
Yeah.
And so I guess I kind of owned a team.
But you don't play fantasy football anymore?
I gave it up because I really didn't like the name of the Washington team before they changed it. Uh-huh. And I just got to the point where it took the joy out for me because, and I know there's a lot of people who liked that name and felt it was a respectful tribute to the Native Americans, but I knew it also bothered some people, some Native Americans, and it's like, this is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be inclusive, so one year I said I just won't draft any player from that team. And I thought, that's really not fair because it's not the player's fault that they're named that team. So then I just said, I just can't do it anymore. And then of course they changed the name and maybe now that Magic is part owner, maybe I'll go back to playing fantasy.
You ever see a scenario where the Lakers aren't in your family?
I can't imagine that. That's not the way it should be.
Yeah, right.
So and there's really no reason for the team not to be, so.
And talk about the lengths your dad went to in terms of transferring assets, et cetera, to figure out how to pass the team down, given tax implications.
Yeah, what he did was, he was very forward thinking, and it was important to him to keep the team in the family. So what he did was he created a trust and he transferred ownership, stock of the team into the trust. And as each transfer occurred, he would pay the taxes at that time. Because most often when you transfer an asset of that size, after passing, there's an inheritance tax.
A massive one.
And so most people have to sell the asset in order to pay the taxes on the estate. So he didn't want that to happen because he'd seen it happen.
And he went to each of his kids before he passed away asking basically if you guys want him to hold on to it or sell it, and everybody was pretty much universal in wanting to keep it.
Yeah, it was really his decision to make, and I'd have supported him in whatever he decided. It was really a labor of love that he did for us on our behalf. And so I really appreciate that he did that.